Mike Caccioppoli here. A few things to get off my chest. All right. The first is I kind of went back and forth a little bit on Twitter today with some people, and once again, this is more like mainstream media discussed. On Bloomberg Politics, it was Mark Halperin and John Heilman, and they had on Jeff Weaver, Bernie's campaign manager, a few days ago, and they were getting on his case about Bernie going to the Vatican. Getting on his case that Bernie shouldn't be leaving New York 4 or 5 days before the vote to go to the Vatican. That's a miscalculation on his part, that he shouldn't be doing it. It means either he doesn't want to in New York, doesn't need to, or can't, or anyway, they were giving him grief about it. And Jeff Weaver said that there are some things more important than politics. And John Heilman couldn't believe it. He goes, "Wait a minute, my alarms go off. Alarms go off." He never said exactly why, but I think I got to that today on Twitter with him when I had said to him, "Well, have you asked Hillary Clinton's campaign why she's going to San Francisco, coming here to San Francisco this coming Friday for a big money Clooney fundraiser? Why is she leaving New York for a big money elite $300,000 plate fundraiser? Now that's okay, but Bernie leaving to go to the Vatican to talk about world peace and hunger and these huge issues is such a horrible thing." And so I tweeted Heilman. I said, "Did you ask Hillary about that?" He said, "No, because she's ahead by 200 delegates, not behind." Now, of course, this is such a disingenuous answer. He had to come up with some answer. I'm glad he did. Look, I appreciate that he actually responded. A lot of the people are tin gods. They never respond. So I want to give him that much, but I disagree with his answer. Because, we could talk all day about who's more important it is, which candidate needs to win the state. Yeah, you could say Bernie. He's behind by about 200 delegates. Pledged delegates, and needs to make up that ground. New York has a lot of delegates, so he can make it up there, so it'll be big. He was born there. But you could just as easily make the case that Hillary has lost 8 of 9. The last day she's on a huge losing streak where she lost 8 by 12 to 65 points. Now she's going into the state where she lives, where she was senator for 8 years. Pretty fucking big for her not to lose this and lose 9 out of the last 10. So you can make an equal case if you want. I think it's actually bigger for her. But you can let's make an equal case. It's equally big for both of them. Therefore, if you get on Bernie's case for leaving to go to the Vatican, talk about world peace and hunger for a day or two, you need to get on Hillary's case for leaving to go 2,500 miles west for a big money, wealthy fundraiser with the elites of the world who are going to want favors in return. I think you can. And I think you could make the case that going to the Vatican is more important than coming to San Francisco for money. I think you could also make the case that it's a better photo op to be at the Vatican and they're giving Bernie a 10-minute speaking slot. The video of that, with all the Roman... Last I remember, since I'm from Brooklyn, there are tons of Roman Catholics in New York City. I think that's a better photo op than going to San Francisco. Hi, honey. Hi, honey. How you doing there, dear? With, the little selfies. I think going to the Vatican is a better photo op than going to San Francisco for a big money $100,000 fundraiser. But did they get on her case? No, because she's up in delegates, so she can do what she wants, and Bernie's got to stay in New York. He's got to turn down the Pope's invitation. The same Pope that the Hillary camp accused of lying, of not inviting Bernie, when he did. But it wasn't in the mainstream media that Hillary said the Pope and the Vatican lied. That wasn't in the mainstream media. I bet you haven't heard that in New York. So there's that. Okay. Then there's also his counterpart, Mark Halperin, recently interviewing Jane Sanders and getting on her case. Where's the taxes? You releasing those taxes? Those middle-class family taxes? You releasing them? And Jane was like, she played it great. She was like, yeah, well, of course. There's nothing there. We're middle-class people. Yeah, but if you want to see them, of course. He's running for president, of course. When are you going to release them? When? Today? Tomorrow? Well, April 15th is the deadline, and she said, usually I file an extension. I do too. Most middle-class people do. Maybe Mark Halperin doesn't understand this, because he makes a lot of money, but most middle-class people file extensions. And also maybe he doesn't understand that unlike Trump and Hillary, the Sanders don't have people doing this for them. They don't have peons who do this for them. They do it themselves. So Jane does it herself. So she said, well, I haven't been home in like a month and a half. Can I go home? I'll do it. Okay, I'll go home and I'll do it. I'm right. I'm sorry. I'll do it. And then he says, well, if Trump didn't release his returns, wouldn't you be angry? So here he is, actually. This is a guy in the media. This is a guy making big money on MSNBC. And Bloomberg saying he's equating Sanders' tax returns to Trump's Sanders' tax returns to Trump and Clinton's tax returns. The tax returns of a middle-class guy to the tax returns of billionaires. That's what he's trying to compare the two things. Like, there's an actual comparison to be made. Now, so we had on Jane Sanders grilling her about their... Bernie has his salary and she sold a house, something like that. He's grilling her about that. Does he have on Bill Clinton grilling him about his wife's Goldman Sachs multi-million-dollar transcripts? Part of the tax she's paying from those multi-million dollars she made from those from those speeches? Does he have Bill on for 10 minutes saying, where's the transcripts? Give me the transcripts. Tomorrow, come on. Nope. That's your mainstream media, and when you call them out, they make up bullshit excuses. That's it. We're calling them on it. This is the reality. This is real life. This is fucking reality here. So there were those two things. See, then they wonder. Joe Scarborough, speaking of Halpern and Heilman, they were on Morning Joe, and Joe was saying, well, wait a minute, let's look at Wyoming. Bernie won it 56-44. We're showing delegates, Hillary 11, Bernie 7. What is that? He won it in a landslide. He won it by 12 points. Why doesn't he have 11 delegates and her 7? Why is it flipped? Well, 4 of them are superdelegates that right now are on her side. They will change, but probably will change, should change. Why are the other 14 split 7-7 anyway? Why are the delegates split 7-7 when he won by 12 points? And Joe was saying, this is how fucked up the Democratic system is. The Democratic Party system, the way they do delegates, it's why vote? It's a rigged system. And the Democrats, Joe's right, I have to agree. The Democrats are the ones always saying, oh, the Republicans rig it. They rig it. Voter suppression, voter fraud, they rig it. They have to rig it to win. They have to have low turnout to win. How's Hillary winning? By rigging elections with low turnout. The DNC rigging it in her favor, and low turnout favors her. But this is okay now because it's Hillary. What are you complaining about, little Bernie guy? Bernie bro, what are you complaining? This is the system, baby. Play the system, baby. Come on, you don't want to play the system, baby? Don't get in the system, baby. When it was the Republicans, baby, they're crying. This is hypocrisy. This is the disgusting hypocrisy that Joe is pointing out, and he's right. He's right. That's why I'm cutting that D off my name after I vote for Bernie here. I'm voting on May 9th. May 9th is the first day of early voting. I usually don't. I usually vote on the day of the polls, June 7th. May 9th, voting for Bernie, coming back, changing from Democrat to Independent. This is why. Debbie Wasserman Schultz is losing millions of people. And they think it's a game. Josh Barrow was on Twitter saying, well, yeah, half of Bernie supporters say, a third of Bernie supporters say they won't support Hillary. But they always do. Those numbers don't make any sense. Rude awakening, bud. Not going to be a third. Going to be about half. And she can't win. Losing half the Democrats and having no independents, she can't beat Trump, Cruz, Kasich, Ryan, anyone. Gohmert, can't be any of them. Rude awakening time, baby. Rude awakening time. And I actually got pissed tonight. I said, I'm this close. If Bernie doesn't get the nomination, and if Pete doesn't run as independent, I'm this close to voting for Trump. This close, right here. This close. This close. You know why? Because the Republican establishment hates Trump, the Democratic establishment hates Bernie, and the mainstream media is with the establishments of both parties. They hate Trump and they hate Sanders. You see? So it's almost like we're all in this together. We are. In this anti-establishment game. The issues are very much apart, but what Hillary supporters don't understand is the issues between Trump and Bernie are far apart, but the issues between Bernie and Hillary are also far apart. They're not that close. They're not that close. There's a huge gap, a huge football field between Bernie and Hillary, as there is between Bernie and Trump. But it's the establishment game. The Republican establishment will do anything they can to not have Trump as nominee. As a Democratic establishment will do all they can to not have Bernie. And the media is helping out both establishments. Anti-Trump, anti-Sanders. Both. So we are on the same sides on a big part of this issue this campaign season. It's different than other seasons. So I hope I don't have to go there, but I would like the mainstream media, the DNC, these Hillary bots to shut their mouths, to watch what they say. Because they don't realize, they think Hillary's so great. Oh, she can beat anybody. Oh, she'll have a Roosevelt landslide. No, Republicans hate her. That's why her approval is minus 30. And half of that Bernie Sanders, at least half, they might get even more pissed off, might be all of them. At least half won't vote for her. She cannot win. She can't win. Maybe she could have won if they played this better. If they didn't spit in the faces of Sanders, these young people, they don't do their research. I feel so bad for them. I feel so bad for these young people who don't do their research, who are just too stupid and vote for Bernie. If she didn't do things like that, maybe she would have us. Maybe. If they didn't give her more delegates when Bernie wins by a landslide, maybe they'd have us. But they don't, and they won't. This is why they can't win. This is the package that Bernie's campaign is bringing in to the along with winning the second half of this, most of the states in the second half of this game. This is the package they're going to bring into the convention in July. This is the package they're going to bring in. Bernie can win in November. She can't. Make your choice. Let's go. That's the way it's going to be. That's the way it's going to be. That Democratic convention in July is going to be a bloodbath. Figuratively speaking, of course. They don't want to get in trouble. Figuratively speaking. That's probably the Republican convention. And finally, Bill de Blasio in New York endorses Hillary and has her on stage. And they make a joke on stage at Hamilton. De Blasio makes a joke about, she says, why didn't you endorse me earlier? They did a little shtick. They did shticklock together. New York shticklock, because she's so New York. Like in that subway, she rides it all the time. And de Blasio said, I'm on, I hate to even say this, I'm on CP time. CP time, you know what that is? That's like the wink, that's like the Super Predators. Wink, 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 wink. Colored people time, meaning I'm late. Colored people are always late, known as colored people time, CP time. And then de Blasio says, and then everyone laughs, and Hillary laughs. That stupid laugh, that fake phony laugh. Ha, ha, ha! And then de Blasio now is in trouble, and he's saying, I didn't mean, it was a takeoff on that. You know what I'm saying? It was a takeoff on colored people time. It wasn't really, that's not what I meant. Cautious politicians, what I meant. That's what he said. Cautious politician time. Who's ever heard of cautious politician time? And there she is laughing, once again laughing at the offense of African Americans. It's okay. They'll vote for me anyway. I can do it. And that's one of the reasons why someone said to me, do you think she's a racist for saying, well, do you think she can do what she wants? She's got them in their back pocket. Look at the South. She can do what she wants. She can call them super predators. She can say black youth are super predators, and they'll come out and vote for her. Come out of those churches and vote for her. So why can't she laugh at CP time? Imagine if Bernie had been up there, how the media would be crucifying him for not denouncing de Blasio's endorsement right there and then. Can you imagine? Seriously, come on, let's talk one-on-one. If that was Bernie up there, and someone that endorsed him said that. Can you imagine? We'd be hearing about it for days and days and days. CP time. CP time, Bernie. CP time? How low? CP well, Hillary's up there. It's all right. It's all right. She's a Clinton. She can do what she wants. She can get away with anything. We shall see. There's a reckoning coming. Anyway, I just wanted to get all that off my chest. I know there's a lot. There's probably more. But I think I've taken up enough of your time. Mike Caccioppoli, thanks for listening. And we'll talk again soon, I'm sure.